Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and on today's DIY Wednesday video, we are going to be making something super easy that was inspired by two places, Pottery Barn and the Kirklands. And when I tell you what we're making and how much the Pottery Barn and the Kirklands is asking for this insanely easy Valentine's Day idea, you're gonna die. So, when looking for inspiration for today's DIY, I wanted to find, seriously, can Valentine's Day decor be any more cheesy and gross and look like it just came from the kindergartners or first graders classroom Valentine's Day party? Can someone tell me why that is? So, decor was out. And honestly, and maybe you do, maybe you have some amazing Valentine's Day decor and you do up your whole house so it's a Valentine's Day extravaganza. That's amazing. That's awesome. Props to you. But that's not my jam. I just barely cleaned up for Christmas. The last thing I want to do is start decorating this whole house again in Valentine's Day paraphernalia. But what I did think was a little bit more important and a little bit more needed this Valentine's Day than decor is the perfect Valentine's Day gift. Now, I'm thinking a gift for maybe your child to give to a grandparent, maybe you to give to a very good friend, something that people will use that has a hint of Valentine's Day, but could also maybe possibly be used year-round. Now, the other thing with this gift, you don't have to give it away. You could use it yourself. And part of this gift will maybe even help you set the tone for that beautifully romantic Valentine's Day dinner. So, what are we making? We are going to be making, now it's not going to sound that exciting, but it really is exciting. We are going to be making tea towels and napkins inspired from the Pottery Barn, as well as heart napkin rings inspired from Kirklands. So, when I was perusing the interwebs, I saw these adorable, they call them watercolor heart cotton tea towels, set of two. Two tea towels, $29.50. Now they're darling, don't get me wrong, very cute, but $29, Pottery Barn, you're crazy. Now I know you get two, but still, was that $15 a tea towel? I don't think so, Pottery Barn. We can definitely make those super quick, super easy, super cheap. And then I noticed that they not only had the watercolor heart tea towels, but they also have watercolor heart linen cotton napkins, set of 4 for $40. That's $10 a napkin. So we're at $15 a tea towel and $10 a napkin. Are you insane? Sorry about it, Pottery Barn, but we're coming for you because these prices are ridiculous. And when you see how we're gonna make them, it's gonna be so easy. And then I was like, okay, I'm starting to see a themed gift. I'm starting to see it. So if we make the tea towels and we make the napkins, what better thing to round out this Valentine's Day gift than heart napkin rings? So I went on over to the Kirklands and they have these red heart napkin rings. They're cute, they're nothing special, but they want $36.99 for a set of 6. Yeah, $36.99 for a set of 6. Are you insane? Let's just do the math. So for one gift, for one person, which would include 2 tea towels, 4 linen napkins, and 6 napkin rings, we're looking at $105. $105 for a Valentine's Day gift? I don't think so. So when I first looked at the tea towels, I was like, okay, we could totally recreate these super easy. We can make the same exact pattern even. We just need to go down to our local fabric store, get some 100% cotton fabric in white, then go over to like the fabric paint section, pick out a red and a white, get a sponge, cut it into a heart, start with white fabric paint with a little dab of red in it to make a light pink color. Stamp, stamp, stamp a bunch of hearts across. Add a little bit more red so we have a little deeper pink color. Stamp, stamp, stamp across. Add a little bit more red. Stamp, stamp, stamp. add more red until you have red. So it has that gradation of super faint pink hearts going all the way down to dark red hearts along the napkins and the tea towels. So when I went over to my Joann's, 100% cotton fabric in white, not a problem. It was on sale for $4.99 a yard. But then where it got expensive and dare I say not worth it was when I went over to the fabric paint section. They did not have little containers of fabric paint. They only had big containers, and each big container was $6.99, and I would want two. That's $14 on top of the $5 for the fabric. Not to mention, I need a heart sponge. And then to get the word love into one of the hearts, I was gonna have to cricut the word love, make a stencil. By the time I was doing all of my math and all of the work involved, I was like, might as well just spend $29 on the damn tea towels and be done with it. So I came up with an alternative that, dare I say, is cuter and less work. Let me show you what we're doing. Okay, so you're still gonna run over to your Joann's, but you are going to go to the fabric section where they have like the cotton holiday themed fabric. And you're gonna pick out your favorite Valentine's Day looking fabric. I got 4 different fabrics. I wanna make 2 tea towels and at least 6, if not 8 napkins. I want 2 sets, but I wanted to do coordinating fabric. So I didn't want my tea towels and my napkins to exactly match. I wanted them to coordinate. I picked out this darling. This gave me the watercolor vibes of the inspiration from Pottery Barn. And then this coordinating fabric is going to be my tea towel. We could use this all year round because it doesn't like scream Valentine's Day, it just happens to be pink. And we're gonna have more than enough to make 2 tea towels and 6 and probably even more napkins. I got 1 yard of each of these fabrics. My second set, I got this darling hot pink, red, burgundy, plaid-ish fabric for my tea towels. And then I got this coordinating red fabric that says love on it for my napkins. Again, 1 yard of each, $4.99, $4.99. So we don't have to fabric paint anything. We can just pick out whatever fabric calls to us. And you could do matching, get 2 yards of one fabric, and then you'd have matching tea towels and matching napkins, just like Pottery Barn. But I wanted to mix it up and put my own spin on it. So that's why I got different fabrics. Then at the Joann is a one-stop shop for our napkin rings. Joann's, the Bloom Room. So it's a really thick wire covered in like a craft paper. And because it's so thick and we get so many of them, I'm thinking we can get 3 out of 1 stem. So you're looking at 3, 6, 9, possibly 18 napkin rings out of this $3.99 wire. Then for the hearts, they're cute. They had these 7-piece, which is a very odd count, wooden heart package. $2.79 a pack. There's 14 hearts, so we know we can make 14 napkin rings if we wanted to. So my total purchase at the Joann's came to $32. And we're gonna be able to make, at minimum, 4 tea towels, 12 napkins, and 14 napkin rings. Double what we would have bought from the Pottery Barn and the Kirklands, and that would have been $210, and we spent $32. I know, right? It's insane. You may need to purchase some periphery items based on if you want to sew these or if you don't want to sew these, because we need to cut our rectangles out, but then we need to hem every single edge. If you're going to sew them, you don't need any periphery items, just thread. But if you're not a sewer, you can easily make these one of 2 ways. This is the ever popular hem tape, and it's basically iron-on. So you would fold over your hem, put this hem tape in between, iron it down, hem, done. Your other option, if you don't feel like doing that, fabric glue, Arlene's original tacky glue, and you could do all of your hems with this. Now, I already had both of these. I don't plan on doing them. I'm just gonna sew mine. I think sewing 4 straight line hems in a rectangle is gonna be much quicker, but we do have to do some prep work, and that is trim all of our fabric, and then we need to iron our hem creases in so that whether we're sewing, gluing, or iron-on hem taping, we have that nice, crisp seam. Let's look at the measurements of what Pottery Barn says their tea towels and their napkins are. I mean, they're super cute. So for the tea towels, their overall size is 20 inches by 30 inches. Now, that's a pretty huge tea towel. I have some tea towels that I brought in from my kitchen. One I really like the size of. Since we're custom making these ourselves, we can make them whatever size we want to yield the maximum amount of tea towels from our 1 yard of fabric. The napkins are a 20-inch square, so pretty easy. This is probably my most favorite size tea towel here. It's pretty big, I like it. Ooh, we got 35 by 22. So a little bit bigger than the Pottery Barn one. So Pottery Barn again is 20 by 30. I have another one that's a little bit smaller, 28 by 17. So depending on how many we can get out of our fabric, we'll shoot for this target. First tea towel fabric here. I know it's a yard, and I believe that this fabric is 44 wide. So if we take the 44 width and cut it directly in half, that will give us 22 wide, and then when we hem everything, that'll probably bring it down to about 20-21. So 1 yard of fabric will yield 2 tea towels. So because that seam is right down the middle there, I'm gonna get my fabric scissors and we're just gonna cut that directly in half. Cut it in half, everybody. And because this is 100% cotton, I believe we can do the cut rip trick. It always makes me nervous that it's not gonna follow the crease, but let's see. Looking good. Yep, it's good. 2 tea towels, done. So now that we have our width cut, we need to figure out our length, cut that, and then also cut off our salvage edge from this fabric. This is 36, and I'd like my finished tea towel to be 30, 32, so part of me is like, why even bother cutting off these 3 ends? Why don't we just leave it? I like the size. I use my tea towels, A, for drying dishes, but also when I'm hand washing dishes, I put a tea towel down on my counter so that when I hand wash and then I have somewhere to set all my washed dishes while they're dry. And they're also great for drying glasses. They don't need any lint or anything like that. Let's see, how big did we say this one was? Oh yeah, it's this big. Ooh, and I like this. I'm gonna leave them. I'm not gonna waste any fabric. So I'm gonna leave my length at 36. Putting all of our hems around, we'll bump that to about the 35-inch mark. And then our width is gonna be 21-ish. So all I have to do for this is cut off my salvage edge. And then these are basically ready to iron and hem, and then we are done. So let me just cut this off. Yay. Okay, so on to figuring out our napkins. Now, Pottery Barn said their napkins were 20 by 20. This is a napkin that I just purchased around Halloween time, and it actually measures 18 by 18. So we just need to figure out like how many we can get out of 1 yard of fabric. I did the math. And if we wanted to get 18 by 18 inch square napkins out of our 1 yard of fabric, we technically would only be able to get 4 out, and then we'd have a lot of wasted fabric. This white linen napkin that I purchased at Bed Bath & Beyond measures 18 by 18. I went into where I have all my linen napkins. I have a bunch of different sizes. This one measures 16 by 16. So if I do the math and divide our longness out, which is 44 inches, divide that by 3, you get like 14 and a little bit. And then if we cut this directly in half, it's 18 down the middle. I do want them to be a perfect square, so I'm thinking they will end up being 14 by 14, which seems a little bit small, but this is 16 by 16, while a hair smaller, still pretty good size, right? So I think our target size for our linen napkins, just so we can get the most out without having to buy another yard of fabric, is gonna be 14 by 14. So, yay. So I wanna cut these out. I'm gonna cut it directly in half here, and then I'm gonna cut it into thirds, so that gives me 6 scraps of fabric. Okay, now that we have all of our fabric pieces cut for our tea towels and our 6 napkins, we need to iron in our hems. Painstakingly, but it's going to make all of the difference. We want to fold over ever so slightly one little hem, crease that in, then fold that over again ever so slightly and iron that crease in all 4 sides. You do want to kind of, as you're folding, make sure that you're staying like square. So this edge and this edge are exactly parallel to each other, the same number of inches apart. This edge and this edge are the same parallelness, same inch apart. Get it? So I'm eyeballing my first little crease right now, and I'm gonna try to keep it as straight as possible as I go along ironing. But yeah, it's just kind of boring and tedious. You're just gonna iron this in so we get that nice, crisp crease, and then that will be our guide for either sewing, fabric gluing, or hem taping. So just do it on every single piece of cut fabric that you have laying next to you. This is your life for the next little bit. Okay, now that we have all of our seams ironed in and everything is looking great, we're halfway there. All we need to do is either hem tape, fabric glue, or sew all of our seams. If you are going to use hem tape, super easy. You're just gonna take your hem tape, lay it on out right up to that crease that you made, fold your seam over, tuck that hem tape in, and then you're gonna iron all the way around. I think the directions are like, just don't use steam or water when you're doing it. And then same thing, if you're gonna fabric glue, press that in. Press. Put a book on it, weigh it down until it's completely dry. But I'm gonna sew. I'm gonna get my sewing machine ready. Straight line stitch, not a big deal. Straight, right along your little creases that you made. Very easy, very quick. I'm gonna start with my tea towels. I am going to sew right along the very edge, not closest to the edge of the tea towel, but closest to the inside of the tea towel. So I'm gonna sew right along this edge here, going as close as possible. Because we have our creases, it should go easy peasy. I'm not even gonna pin it, I'm just gonna go. Line my needle up right on that edge. I'm gonna do a little forward and back and then run it right along. So a little forward, a little back. And now easy, just follow that line, take it slow, make sure you're going straight right along that inside crease. It's as easy as that. You just keep sewing 4 straight lines and then your tea towel is done. And then you do that to your other tea towel and then you do it to your napkins and then you're done. And then we can make napkin rings. See how easy this is? Okay, so I have just sewn down one edge, the long edge of my tea towel. It looks pretty good, and I'm at my corner to sew a short side. So, if you don't know this trick, you wanna leave your needle in the fabric, lift up your pressure foot, rotate the fabric, get it nice and lined up, put your pressure foot down again, and then continue sewing. Just keep it going, one continuous square, and keep sewing. And voila, just like that, we have one tea towel complete. Now just go off and cut off your little random excess threads and done. Keep going, sew all those napkins, get those done, get your other tea towel done. Valentine Day gift, damn near complete. Now that both tea towels are done, we just need to sew up our napkins. Here they are. It's more of the same. Straight line, straight line, straight line, straight line, and you're done. After you get done sewing, hem taping, fabric gluing, whatever, and everything's ready to go, your fabric glue is completely dry, hem tape is set. What you're gonna wanna do, which is gonna suck, is you're gonna have to wash these. And then when they come out, you're gonna wanna iron them, especially if you're giving them as a gift. The reason we wanna wash them is they're very slickery, even though they're 100% cotton. You know, it's got that, I don't know, manufacturer coating on it or something. So to soften it up, you wanna throw it in the wash. When it comes out of the wash, put it in the dryer. When it comes out of the dryer, iron them super flat, crisp. Mwah. Then once that is all done, we're gonna make our napkin rings. But that's probably gonna happen not tonight. So yeah, I'm gonna finish up sewing my second set. I'm loving the tea towels. I love the size of them. I think they're perfect. The napkins, a little bit smaller than we'd like, but still cute nonetheless. And because these napkins will probably just come out once a year on Valentine's Day, I think they're fine. I put them on my lap and I'm like, yeah, this is a good napkin. I pretended to wipe my face. Good size cloth napkin. So that's it. Put these things in the wash, get them in the dryer, iron them, and then it's napkin ring time. Okay, so yay. Tea towels and napkins are done. I've washed them, I've ironed them, and they look so cute. I mean, look at how cute these linen napkins look with these super darling tea towels. I can't even get over it. Who would have thought for a yard each of these 4 fabrics at like $4.99, we'd be able to get 4 tea towels and 12 napkins. I mean, in case you forgot, Pottery Barn wanted $29 for just 2 tea towels. They're so cute and they're the perfect thing for Valentine's Day. But we have one more thing that we're gonna make that's even gonna make this Valentine's Day more perfect. Just when you were thinking, how could it get more perfect, Sheri? Well, it's gonna get more perfect with our heart napkin rings. And they're gonna be so easy. Easier than these. Way easier than these. Do you have some hot glue? That's all you need. Okay, so let's move our beautifully washed and beautifully ironed napkins and tea towels aside and get our supplies for our napkin rings. We have our little wooden hearts and we have the Bloom Room stem wire here. I also brought in my Dollar Tree rolling pin so that I could measure the wire because I just feel like at this widest point, that's the perfect diameter for a napkin ring. So we're gonna use this to measure our wire. I have my hot glue heating up, and then I also brought in like some baby wire cutters. They're actually needle nose pliers with a little wire cutter right there. But then I brought in the big guns because I don't really know how thick this is and what's gonna cut through it. So you're gonna need wire cutters, I believe. I don't think scissors are gonna make it through this because this is pretty thick. The inspiration, the napkin rings were red. So I brought in some red paint. Kind of like the look of the natural. So I might leave the napkin rings for these napkins natural and then paint the napkin rings for these napkins red. Or you could save yourself a million steps and just leave all of the napkin rings natural. But I'm gonna paint half of them red and leave half of them natural. Not a big deal. Okay, so our hearts, they're painted red. So let's move these over while we cut all of our rings. Get your stem wires out, and we're just gonna wrap them around our rolling pin, crisscross them over each other just a little bit so we have somewhere to put the hot glue. So I'm probably gonna cut it about here. So I have all of this area to hot glue, and then we're going to hot glue our heart onto the top of that. Let's go for the big guns. Like that. And then we're gonna put this together in this cute little ring here. Hot glue gun, a little glue here. Smash those puppies together into their ring formation. Wait for that hot glue to dry. And then you just hot glue your wooden heart to the top part here to cover up your glue seam. And then you have a perfect napkin ring. I know, can it get any easier? I don't think so. So for assembly line purposes, I'm going to cut all of my wires first and then glue them all together and then glue all my hearts on because we need to get this done. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. So assembly line these, get your rings, get your wire, just go, wrap, cut. Go, wrap, cut. Nothing to it. Until you've got however many rings you need. I need 12, so I'm gonna cut this 12 times. Now that we have all of our napkin rings made, glued together, what I don't like, which could be covered by a heart, but you know, the overachiever in me doesn't necessarily love how these ends are looking. Because when we put the heart over it, it covers up those ends. If you were to look at it from the side, you could see the end. But is that really that big of a deal? Because part of me was like, why don't you take, which I already did, from my leftovers, I unwrapped the brown paper and separated it from the wire inside. To camouflage those ends, we would take some of our paper and then just hot glue it around to disguise those ends. It does give a nicer finished look, but I'm thinking, is it really worth it? Should we just glue these on and call it a day? I guess I can leave that up to you. Like this, it's kind of a huge deal. But when this is over the top, not a huge deal at all. So let's glue them just as they are. Put a ginormous amount of glue on the top. Take my heart, center it as best I can, and then press and hold for days. Can't let this go until that glue is dry. Just sit here like this and then do that however many times you need to do it. Now that I'm doing this, I'm thinking, should we take a strip of paper and put it across the back? Maybe that will look nice. I don't know, let's play around with it and see. But first, we gotta wait for this to dry. So now that our first napkin ring is dry, I mean, come on, it's super cute. I did take a piece of paper and laid it across the back. That's way better. You should do that. It cleans it up. It makes it look more profesh. And call this napkin ring done. Now, oh, it's so cute. I love it. Okay, do that a bunch of times. Oh my God. The napkin rings are done and they look so cute. At first I was like, I like the natural, but the red is darling. And the underneath look nice and clean. Now, I don't know, it's completely up to you and your napkin style. You could fold them, maybe put them in a little tube, but I mean, it's so cute. Oh my gosh, look at how cute. Seriously. The napkin rings are darling. The napkin rings are darling. So when you're like wrapping this up for a Valentine gift, what I would normally do is I would fold all of the napkins -1. You could also do this little thing that people do like this. I mean, oh, come on now. Everybody get in the spirit of Valentine's Day because these are adorable. Yay us. Oh my God, can't nobody tell me that these tea towels and napkin rings don't make the most perfect Valentine gift for your grandma, a mother-in-law, your favorite aunt, your bestie. They're fucking darling. They're more darling than I thought they were gonna turn out to be. I love them. This is so cute. You got your 2 tea towels, your 6 napkins, and your 6 napkin rings. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. We did it. We made one trip to our local Joann's and got all of our materials minus our hot glue and our thread. Well, you could pick up thread and hot glue if you don't have it at the Joann's. But I had hot glue already at the house and I had thread already at the house. So I bought 4 yards of fabric, my floral wire, and my little wooden hearts for $32. at the Joann's, and we made 4 tea towels, 12 napkins, and 12 napkin rings. Now, let me just refresh your memory. From the Pottery Barn, their 4 cloth watercolor heart napkins are $40. So to get 12, we need to buy 4, 8, 12. 3 sets. What's that? $120. And then the tea towels are 2 for $29, which we would have to buy 2 sets of that, which would make that $60. That's $180. And then I don't want you to die of a heart attack, but in case you forgot, 6 napkin rings from the Kirkland's red heart napkin rings that look identical. Identical. I mean, identical. A set of 6, $36. We'd have to buy 2 sets. I mean, I can't even do all of the math necessary. $250. $250. Now, you do have to buy some periphery items if you're not sewing, such as fabric tape and or fabric glue. While I spent $32 at the Joann's, let's just round that up to 40. I mean, shit, I'll even go 50 because if you needed to buy paint and glue sticks, your total supplies could cost you $50, while mine cost me $32. If you spent $50, you would still be saving $200. Now, I spent $32, so I saved $218, and I have 2 very beautiful Valentine's Day gifts to give away. Actually, I'm gonna keep 1 set, and I'm going to gift the other set. But can you believe that? Saving over $200 making these 3 items that took very little time and very little effort. I'm serious. If you don't have a sewing machine but you have an iron, get that hem tape and just iron on hem tape all of this shit. Get your hot glue gun out, make your napkin rings, call it done. Put it in a box, wrap it up. I mean, I don't know why we're so amazing, but we are. There you have it. And there it is, Valentine's Day success. So, if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you are alerted to all of the DIY Wednesday videos I push out, which is every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.